Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib Nurmagomedov is the most dominant Russian fighter in UFC history and one of the most dominant champions the sport has ever seen. Born in Dagestan, Khabib grew up wrestling bears and training in the mountains, developing a relentless grappling style that overwhelmed every opponent. Khabib entered the UFC in 2012 and quickly established himself as a force in the lightweight division. His pressure, chain wrestling, and top control were unmatched. He went 29-0 in his MMA career, retiring undefeated after defending his lightweight title 3 times. His most famous wins include dominating Conor McGregor at UFC 229, where he submitted the Irish superstar and then leapt over the cage to confront McGregor's team, sparking a post-fight brawl. Khabib also submitted Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje, cementing his legacy as the best light heavyweight ever. Khabib's style was built on suffocating pressure, relentless takedowns, and ground and pound that broke his opponent's will. He retired in 2020 after promising his mother he wouldn't fight without his late father and coach, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. If you're enjoying these Russian UFC stories, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next legend. Fedor Emelianenko. While Fedor Emelianenko never fought in the UFC, his influence on Russian MMA and the UFC's heavyweight division is undeniable. Fedor was the Pride heavyweight champion and went undefeated for nearly a decade, beating legends like Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, Mirko Krokrap, and Mark Coleman. Fedor's stoic demeanor, explosive power, and sambo-based grappling made him a mythical figure in MMA. UFC president Dana White tried for years to sign Fedor, but contract negotiations always fell through. Despite never fighting in the UFC, Fedor's shadow loomed over the division, and many fans still debate how he would have fared against UFC champions. Fedor's legacy is that of a true Russian icon, humble, devastating, and respected by fighters and fans worldwide. Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev is the new face of Russian dominance in the UFC lightweight division. A childhood friend and training partner of Khabib, Islam was groomed from a young age to follow in the Eagle's footsteps. Makhachev's style is similar to Khabib's: relentless wrestling, suffocating top control, and a growing arsenal of submissions. He entered the UFC in 2015 and steadily climbed the ranks, defeating top contenders like Arman Tsarukyan, Dan Hooker, and Drew Dober. In 2022, Islam captured the UFC lightweight title by submitting Charles Oliveira at UFC 280, fulfilling the prophecy of Dagestani dominance. He has since defended his belt against Alexander Volkanovski, showing improved striking and championship composure. Islam's rise is a testament to the Dagestani system: discipline, wrestling, and a team-first mentality. He's now the man to beat at 155 pounds. Petr Yan. Petr Yan is Russia's first UFC bantamweight champion and one of the most technical strikers in the sport. Hailing from Siberia, Yan started as a boxer before transitioning to MMA, where he developed a reputation for relentless pressure and crisp combinations. Yan entered the UFC in 2018 and quickly made a name for himself with wins over John Dodson, Uriah Faber, and Jimmy Rivera. In 2020, he captured the vacant bantamweight title by finishing Jose Aldo at UFC 251. Yan's reign was marked by controversy. He lost his belt to Aljamain Sterling via disqualification for an illegal knee, but his performances against top contenders like Corey Sandhagen and Sean O'Malley have kept him at the top of the division. Petr Yan's style is built on high fight IQ, technical boxing, and the ability to adapt mid-fight. He remains one of the most dangerous bantamweights in the world. Zabit Magomedsharipov. Zabit Magomedsharipov was one of the most exciting and creative featherweights in the UFC before his early retirement. Born in Dagestan, Zabit brought a unique blend of striking, spinning attacks, and high-level grappling to the octagon. Zabit entered the UFC in 2017 and quickly became a fan favorite with wins over Jeremy Stevens, Calvin Kattar, and Kyle Bochniak. His unorthodox style, long reach, and unpredictable attacks made him a nightmare matchup for anyone at 145 pounds. Despite his success, Zabit struggled with health issues and retired in 2022, leaving fans wondering what could have been. His brief UFC run was enough to show that Dagestan produces not just wrestlers, but also creative, dynamic strikers. Alexander Volkov. Alexander Volkov is one of the most successful Russian heavyweights in UFC history. Standing at 6'7", Volkov uses his height and reach to keep opponents at bay with sharp jabs, front kicks, and technical striking. Volkov entered the UFC in 2016 and has wins over Fabrizio Verdum, Alistair Overeem, and Stefan Struve. His ability to mix up attacks and maintain distance makes him a tough puzzle for any heavyweight. Volkov's style is less about wrestling more about using his size and kickboxing background to control the fight. He remains a perennial contender in the UFC's heavyweight division. Magomed Ankalaev. Magomed Ankalaev is one of the top Russian light heavyweights in the UFC, known for his powerful striking and sambo-based grappling. Ankalaev entered the UFC in 2018 and quickly made a name for himself with a string of knockout wins. His most notable victories include finishes over Ion Cutelaba and a dominant win over Anthony Smith. Ankalaev's style is built on patience, technical striking, and the ability to control opponents on the ground. He's considered a future title challenger and represents the new wave of Dagestani and Russian fighters making their mark in the UFC's higher weight classes. Islam Mamedov. Islam Mamedov is another Russian fighter known for his sambo background and grappling-heavy style. While he's made his name in promotions like PFL and Bellator, his influence and training partners have impacted the UFC's Russian contingent. Mamedov's style is built on relentless takedowns, positional control, and the ability to grind out decisions or finish with submissions. He's part of the new generation of Russian grapplers who have made sambo a staple in MMA. Rustam Khabilov. Rustam Khabilov, known as the Tiger, made waves in the UFC lightweight division with his powerful wrestling and highlight reel suplexes. Khabilov entered the UFC in 2012 and quickly gained attention by suplexing Vince Pichel 3 times in one fight. His style is built on explosive takedowns, top control, and the ability to wear down opponents with relentless pressure. Khabilov's wrestling-heavy approach paved the way for other Dagestani fighters to enter the UFC and find success. Shamil Abdurakhimov. Shamil Abdurakhimov is a Russian heavyweight known for his durability and well-rounded skill set. He entered the UFC in 2015 and has fought some of the division's best, including Derek Lewis and Curtis Blades. Abdurakhimov's style is based on solid boxing, good takedown defense, and the ability to go the distance with bigger, stronger opponents. He's been a mainstay in the UFC's heavyweight rankings and represents the depth of Russian talent in the division. If you want more real MMA stories and breakdowns, smash that subscribe button for more videos like this.